Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It is your boy Noah Jones, and welcome to Today in HipHop, the podcast show, Season 2, Episode 1, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we begin, I have a few things I want to talk about. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for my absence. I know it's been a while since I've done a live podcast or I've had basically any kind of uploads of any kind, actually, to be honest, whether music, the podcast, any updates or whatever. I've been pretty quiet on social media. I've had a lot going on. It's been a crazy year so far. My father died earlier in the year. I had a crazy battle with COVID. And as an individual, when you go through certain things, sometimes it's hard to climb back up into the saddle, so to speak, and to find the inspiration and the motivation to continue to do what needs to be done. Now, I'm a man of many words, many situations. I've been through a lot. And sometimes, just as a human being, we reach a breaking point to where certain things just have to take a back seat, unfortunately. And I've weathered so many storms that I haven't really spoke about on social media or went in depth with, as far as letting the people know exactly what's going on in my private life. Because I like to keep things private, you know what I mean? Because I noticed that when sharks smell blood in the water, they tend to attack a little more, you know what I mean? So I kind of like to just be myself, deal with my issues the way I can. And basically, I'm just here to say that going forward, I would do my best to try to do things on a more consistent and regular basis. I need to adhere to a schedule and pretty much get my shit together, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that out the way, at least you know what's going on. Like I said, I had a rough battle with COVID. My pops passed away early in February. My father and I weren't really on good terms. So the fact that we, hadn't spoken about 8 years and didn't get a chance to hash things out before he passed away, I can't say that it didn't affect me. There's always going to be some sort of trauma, some sort of psychological trauma that's there somewhere. I had already pushed my father to the back of my mind a long time ago because of the things that he's done in the past. But, ultimately knowing that there's no way to rectify that, and the fact that he didn't get a chance to really build a relationship with his grandkids, that's what's really affecting me. It's not so much as for me per se, but for my children who didn't get a chance to really experience hanging out with grandpa, going places with grandpa, things of that nature. And my oldest is about to be 17 years old, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's a lot of time has elapsed since my kid's been on this earth where, he had opportunities to man up and rectify not just what happened between us, but at least establish a connection between my children, like a second shot. You know what I mean? A second shot. Give or take. So not necessarily, mend things with me, but at least do right by his grandkids. So anyway, this is Today in Hip Hop, not Today in Noah Jones. So anyway, let's talk about some hip hop shit. Now, is it safe to be a rapper these days? There's a lot of people that have been shot and killed or just shot that are rap artists in 2022 alone, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and as an artist myself, I remember when they would say shit like, oh, you not for me, but you rapping in the basement, in your mother's basement. And nowadays, that's like the safest spot to be, to stay home and to do all your music from a distance, because I'm going to read you a long list of artists that have already died in 2022, and the year is only half over, ladies and gentlemen. So look, let's get into this list. Rappers who died in 2022. Check this shit out. You got Jay Stash. He died in January. You know what I mean? Let me see who else we got going on. He had 3 kids. He was from Florida. You had Lil Devin, who's from Indiana. Then you had Wavy Navy Pooh. And this guy right here, he died in January from a drive-by. You had T. Wu, who lost his life in Brooklyn. You had Snooty Wild, who's an artist from Memphis. You had Gunu, he was from Washington, D.C. You had Lil Keed. We all remember Lil Keed, you know what I mean? That was crazy. We had Trouble that just passed away not too long ago. You know, and that's so far. That's just so far. That's 2022. So my thing is this. With all the artists that have passed in the recent years from gun violence, etc., is it really safe to be a rapper nowadays? Because you know these like, or here's another thing. Here's another look. Is there some sort of conspiracy going on to where maybe record labels are taking insurance and life insurance policies out on these artists and lining them up to get them killed? Now, I've seen in the news where there have been females that have lined rappers up to get them killed. You know what I'm saying? But is it deeper than that? Are the record labels cashing out on these artists that they signing and getting a big payoff and then raking in the money from the streams when these artists die? Is there some sort of undertone or behind the scenes shit going on to where that's actually happening to people? You know what I mean? I don't know, like, and I'm not familiar, and here's the thing, I'm not familiar with all of these artists' music because I don't listen to all of them. You know what I mean? So I can't really say whether it's the lyrical content, the shit that they rap about, is it, you know, people in their neighborhood that they got into it with at one point in time and then all of a sudden they starting to blow up and these people are coming back for revenge? You know, because a lot of these shootings, they don't look like random acts of violence. When they finally catch the suspects and the people involved, these are people that usually know the artist that got shot and killed, or that there's some sort of connection. You know what I mean? Like Trouble allegedly was, you know, he was at a girl's house. He got caught lacking, sleeping over a girl's house, and her ex-man or her man or whoever he was to her came home to the house and ended up killing Trouble. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's not like a random situation. That was somebody that knew the woman that Trouble was messing with, and he slept over her crib. So as artists, one, we got to move a little differently. Like, we can't be, you know, we can't be getting caught sleeping at these girls' cribs. We have to vet these people a little better instead of just allowing random people to just come into our lives that could screw the whole situation up. So like I said, I'm not sure whether it's somebody who they got beef with, or is it the music content? Because, you know, when you rap all that murder, death music and the kill music, you know, you put that negative energy into the environment, into the atmosphere, it eventually comes back to you because we are energy creatures. You know, when you put that kind of negative energy out there, it comes back to you. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if it's the lyrical content. I'm not sure if it's, you know, people hating to see you come up because they came up in the same place as you. They went to the same school as you. They listened to the same music as you. You know the same people as them. Like Boozy said, hypnotized with hate. You know, so it could be so many factors. But the fact remains that it's very unsafe. And, you know, me as an artist myself, like, I look at that stuff and it's like, damn, like, how do I want to proceed going forward with my shit? And do I want to continue to keep doing this type of, you know what I mean? Do I want to continue to be an artist? Because, you know, if you can't reach out and touch the fans, you can't reach out and perform in these venues because they're getting shut down from gun violence and people shooting and all that other stuff, messing the money up. Like, it's like, it just seems like in our culture, and I mean hip-hop culture, I don't mean like race or ethnicity, in our culture, in the hip-hop culture, we don't respect the artists. and rock and roll, R&B, a lot of these other things, these legends, are respected. They untouchable. They can tour for 40, 50 years, or for sometimes maybe 1 or 2 records. But with us, we are ending up killing our own before we even get started, ladies and gentlemen. And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. So I don't know, man. It's like, looking at that shit is like real depressing. Like, what do you do as an artist? What do you say to people? Like, you know what I mean? It's bad enough that the music doesn't have the same prestige anymore. There's nobody really saying anything really in their music. You can't really get gems when you listen to somebody's shit and be like, yo, excuse me, and be like, yo, that I learned something from listening to this. You know what I mean? I'm in a better place from listening to this. I'm inspired to do better things or be a better individual from listening to this. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. In other news, your boy Chris Brown just dropped a new album called Breezy. I got a chance to check it out. I think it's fire. I like it. He's not getting the same support that he feels he should get. He was talking about it on social media. Now, I'm not going to say he's complaining. He was just voicing his frustrations. And as an artist, we all have frustrations and we all, need time to vent and talk about the things that's going on. So he feels like when he's in the media for negativity, everybody's paying attention. But when he drops a record, it's silence. Nobody's supporting. What I would like to suggest to Chris is this, brother. As a fellow musician, as a fellow artist, we all know that your first 2 or 3 albums is when you're at your peak, musically, as far as like hype and everything else. I'm not saying creatively, or creative-wise to where you're making your best music. Sometimes it takes 2, 3 albums to get into your groove. But what I'm saying is, when you're an unknown artist and you finally pop off, the first 2 albums usually, after the second album, people are aware of who you are, and that's when all the traffic comes your way. And the 3rd album is when you really can start to really take off. But here's the thing. Chris Brown got like 9 albums, 9 mixtapes, like 50-something singles, and he's been featured on like 112 different songs. Not to say that you burnt yourself out as far as being everywhere, because you've had a long run. But what I would suggest is, don't just drop out of the blue. He just dropped Breezy out of the blue. Breezy is the name of his album, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it. He just dropped it out of the blue. No single, no promotion, just dropped. You know what I mean? And for an artist like Chris Brown, who many people will say have been making the same kind of music over his entire career, people are just tired of it, bro. They're like, okay, Chris Brown dropped, it's going to be cool. They're not rushing to check for it because you're really not doing anything different. You know what I mean? Now, you set yourself apart early on in your career as far as being different from other R&B acts or whatever. But now will be the time to reinvent yourself. More or less, what about something like this? Like, since all the other artists want to drop in the summer, why don't you drop in the wintertime? Because you make R&B music. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean just R&B music. Like, the kind of music you be making like fucking bitches music, getting money music. Like, it's not normal R&B. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you can make the kind of music where in the wintertime, women are looking to cuddle up to their man and listen to your music type of shit. You could be that artist that comes out every winter and just holds the winter down because all the women are looking to be buddy. But you know how it is. In the wintertime, women are looking to be cuffed. In the summertime, they want to be free. So they want to get out and party. You know what I'm saying? But if you making the kind of R&B where these women want to make kids to your music and all that other shit, the wintertime, bro. How about that as a suggestion? Drop in the winter. Also, record with other artists. Just because you're into the hip hop scene and all that other stuff, you don't have to do records with the same artists that everybody's doing records with. You don't have to do a record with Lil Durk. You don't have to do a record with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you did some stuff with Young Thug and them. It's like, yo, work with different artists. You know what I'm saying? Work with different artists. Work with different artists from different genres. Do some shit with Dolly Parton. Do some shit with Cher. You know what I'm saying? Like, expand on the type of music and the type of artist that you're dealing with so there's some sort of shock factor. You know what I mean? You have the resources to record with anybody in the world that you want to. You choose to stay in this demographic of grimy street niggas. But you have so much more reach than that. And I believe if you were to start doing records with, say, like I say, Cher, do something with some of these legendary rock and roll acts, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like do records with some of these people. The industry will start talking because it'll be something completely different that you've never done before. See, now, a lot of people feel like you're just regurgitating the same old shit. You know what I mean? And then also, if you want to breathe life into a fresh situation, put somebody on. You know what I mean? You've been in the game for at least 15 years. I don't know why you don't have your own label, your own imprint. You ain't running everything on your own. You're extremely talented. So why aren't you doing everything on your own to where you can put on artists, and create the magic that people created for you? That's another way to get people talking. That's the way you give back. You put on the next artist. You've had your opportunity. You've made your millions. You've done what you need to do. Put on the executive hat. Start producing some records, and put other people on. You know what I'm saying? So those are just some suggestions that'll get the industry talking, that'll lead to more hype around your project. You can't just drop an album and expect people to just run and grab it when you've already put out 18 fucking projects. You're not new anymore. You know what I mean? You're a veteran. You're a legacy artist now. And you're one of the best to ever do it. So think about that. Work with other artists. Work with artists that people wouldn't expect you to work with. You know what I'm saying? There's many artists. There's a sea of artists in the world. Work with Adele. You know what I'm saying? Like pick whoever you want. You got the resources. You know what I mean? So that's just a suggestion. You want niggas to really gravitate to your music again? Don't be afraid to take chances. We all know you can sing. We all know you can put out hits. Now is the time to be experimental and do new shit. You know what I mean? Be experimental and do new shit. So, lastly, your boy R. Kelly. They hit that nigga with 30 motherfucking years. 30 joints. And I really have nothing to say about it. He evaded the law for a long time. He knew what he was doing wasn't right. And karma finally catches up to you. So I'm not sure what's going to go on because I think he has a couple of pending charges as well. I think he's still got like two more cases that he got to fight, and they're probably going to add all that shit together. So he may end up doing 50 years. Like, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? But, the other people that allowed him to do what he did and helped him do what he did with these young girls and just was complicit about the shit because they was getting paid, they need a rude awakening as well. You gotta take them all down. You know what I mean? On a RICO case or whatever, like how Young Thug and them going through right now. Which reminds me, that's a serious case as well. Young Thug and them is going through some shit. And hey, like I said, you live that lifestyle, you rap about that type of shit, the shit comes back. And you can't get mad when they use your lyrics against you in court because you have other shit that you can rap about. Nobody tells you to rap about the street life. That's what you want to rap about because allegedly that's all you know. So when you use specific details in your shit, they're going to bring it up in court and they're going to hang you with the shit. Same with R. Kelly. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. You know what I mean? Shit like that's a dead giveaway, bro. Dead giveaway. So you knew that you've been getting away with this type of shit for many years. So when the Reaper comes a-calling, you got to pay the toll, brother. Which is why it's best to not even get into that lifestyle of dirt to begin with. You know what I mean? Stay away from that. Stay away from that type of shit. You could have any woman in the world you want, but you want to be dealing with young-ass kids, though. You know what I'm saying? There's so many fine women in the world, but you want to be dealing with children. You know, he deserves whatever he gets. And he got away with the shit once, but no. Couldn't keep his hand out the cookie jar, ladies and gentlemen. Play a stupid game, win a stupid motherfucking prize. And now he's paying for it. So I don't know, man. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Noah Jones. Make sure you stop by privateroadclothing.com to pick something up. Subscribe to noahjonesnews.com where you can hear all my music and watch all my music videos. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Season 2, Episode 1. Hope you had fun. And I'm going to do my best, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that I upload a little more consistently. Love y'all. Peace.